David, let me just so they speak about the drone service. So it says that Zipline Medical Drone Distribution Center in the region as of 2022, that is one, and I think it's at Mampong. Then they also made mention of the 500-bed Afrey Hospital, which for me, I have issues with that, but we come to that. So this is what they say about health in the original summary when it comes to health. Yeah.
Okay, so when you say health and you talk about the fact that you have an issue with the ferry project, you and I know how hard we've drummed home the need for the completion and operationalization of this project. Not just that one, we've even talked about that of Sewa. What is the issue with the ferry project?
So, David, that ferry issue is not completed. It's a 500-bed hospital. It was part of the Kufuor Irujet hospital project when he signed a contract at the twilight of his administration, somewhere I think in October 2008. John Mahama came. There were issues about the date, so that's what delayed the ferry. Initially, they wanted to take it to, because it's the military hospital for the northern sector. If I say northern sector, Ashanti region begins our northern transition, then we go to the northern. And there's a police or a military hospital in Accra, which is the 37 military hospital. So a replica of 37 in the northern sector, beginning from Ashanti. They initially wanted to take it to Tamale. Then they also said we were bringing it to Sofulai. So there were a lot of changes. Then finally, it was settled at the ferry. Mahama also secured some of the funds, as Kufuor did. But there's a Kufuor Irujet project. David, it's not completed. The last time we spoke to the Deputy Minister for Defense then, I don't know whether he's changed. The MP for Chama, Kofi, something. They needed $32 million. It's not been completed. But David, let me start by this way. I think that the performance track, as I've indicated last week, is a very good exercise. It's a good exercise in the sense that if a government says I've done something and they've opened their doors to say that that's what we've done, uploaded pictures and everything, it is incumbent on us citizens to go on that platform, do the basic verification and fact-checking processes. I've been doing some over the time. I've prompted the fact-checking people. You can tag them. In fact, they've come up publicly to say that if you find any error, WhatsApp it to them, whether they work on it or not. So that's why we are doing this exercise basically today, to bring to them the errors we've seen, to bring to them things that they've reported that might not necessarily be the case. David, on health, they've done good work in reporting that. But David, when you come to the Ashanti region, we were supposed to benefit from 16 of the Agenda 111 when COVID hit, and we saw that there were some whole districts in our country without health facilities. Now, these 17 districts were Adansia Sokwa, the capital being Adansia Sokwa itself, Afija Kwabre North, the capital being Buamai. There's Ahafano Southwest District, Mankranso, my very people at Amansia South District, Mansour Dubia, Asokore Mampong Municipality, Asokore Mampong, Achimawa Bieja North Barikese, Bosome Freho, Esiwa, Obuasi East Tutuka, such a central district, which is in Suta, Afija Kwabre South, Kodie. So it tells you that both Afija Kwabre North and Afija Kwabre South, they didn't have a district hospital. Then you have Ahafano South East, which is Jinama. Then we have Asokwa Municipal, Asokwa. We have Achama Punya District, which is Hinahini. We have a Krofrom District, Krofrom, and Achama Kwama, which is Trede. And significantly, on the 17th of August 2021, Trede was where the president cast sword for the symbolism of launching Agenda 111. Now, David, let me explain. Some people confuse it. When you read the speech of the president on the 17th of August 2021, what he said was that each of the hospitals is costing us $60 million. And when sword is cut in a district, you count 18 months from the day the sword is cut. So, for example, if you are cutting sword on today, the 16th of April 2024, for Agenda 111 at Eugene's district, the timeline is 18 months. So you count 18 months from the day the sword is cut. So it doesn't mean that we expect all Agenda 111 to have been completed by when the president cut the sword on 17th August 2021. Based on the mass, they were supposed to complete the Agenda 111 for Trede on the 17th of February 2023. So as we speak, the Agenda 111 for Trede has delayed for at least 13-14 months. And I'll give you the update now. Per the report I have. And David, this report is I actually intercepted the report. It's a status report on the Agenda 111 for the entire country as of February 2024. The report I can give you that the hospital, based on the lot I've seen and the summation from the contract, the hospital is at 79% complete. 79% complete. So it means that we have about 21% to go. And if you are taking the words of Dennis, the director of the 2024 MPP campaign team, he said that 50% will be complete. I can only glean that they will complete it. Now, David, I gave you a history of 16 districts that were earmarked. And David, it wasn't just these 16. There was also a psychiatric hospital that was supposed to be constructed at Onye, because the Ashanti or the Middle Belt do not have a psychiatric hospital properly, so-called like Accra Psychiatric Hospital. We do not have something like that. That's what the president told us. So we were supposed to benefit from 17 of the Agenda 11 facilities. Now, David, when you pick the district, let me give you the update. Trede is 79% complete. It is the biggest we have in the region as we speak when it comes to completion. The next is the one at Ofurukrum, and it's being built at Kokobeng. That is 76% complete. 76% complete.
So let me quickly say this: that yesterday when we were talking, I mentioned that the trader completion rate was around 77, but note that it is now 79%.
Yeah, 79%.
It's not 77 anymore, because each and every day works are ongoing. You know, they may not be as fast as we want them to, but works are ongoing. So trader is now 77. 79, yes. Kokobeng is 76% complete. Yes. Let's move on. I think the next one will be in Nsuta, yes?
Yes, David. So let me get you the trader. Let me do some work for you there. So David, the reason why the trader is important is the one that we use for symbolism. So when it comes to Ashanti, when you look at the status report, we are at what we call Zone 8. Zone 8 is where you find even the contractor doing the work and all that. So it's at 78%. I'll get 79. The contractor. 79%. Yes, so I'll get a contractor for you. Now when it comes to Furukrum's own, it's at 76% based on what the contractors are telling us. And Furukrum, the contract is being done by Krink Ghana Limited, Jofra Construction Works Limited, and Mazumi Solutions Limited. So these are the three contractors based on the compact documents I have who are doing the work at Kokobeng when it comes to Fulcrum. Now the next one is in Nsuta. And in Nsuta will be so David, I have the trader one. The contractor is Resilience Logistics and Construction Limited, and Nexet Construction Company Limited, and Recaya Limited. These are the three contractors on the documents.
But as we speak, listeners, I mean, if you live in those communities, you work in those communities, you know better than us. Maybe the percentage of work we're mentioning to you does not seem to be so, or even is more than that. You can also share with us your own, thoughts as to what you know when we activate the phone line. So Trader is 79%, Kokobeng, 76%, Nsuta is 19%.
And Nsuta is Sechere Central. And the contractor is Agakot Construction Limited and Takua Construction Limited. And David, what we are told per the compact document is 19%. 19%
That's
complete.
For
Nsuta. So if you are at Nsuta and you've seen the BBM course, so you can report back to us.
Yeah.
Now, David, the next one is Buamai. Buamai will be Buamai is just a second. I want to find a district for you. So Buamai will be Efija Kwabre North. Efija Kwabre now enough. There are 4 contractors listed here: DBS Industry Limited, Nanita Limited, Emerald Properties, and PY Fusu Limited. Okay. These are the 4 contractors, and based on their report, David, Buamai is 67% complete.
Let's do this for want of time. Let's run through them very quickly because we have other areas that we would like to.
So when you go to Manso Dubia's one at Dubia is 33%. When you go to Mankranso's own is 18% complete. When you go to Kwabenakwa, their land issues are Kwabenakwa, so it's not been started. It's the same for Bantima and the same for Sokore Mampong. So there are 3 places in Ashanti out of the 16 that we've not started because of land issue. There are Kwabenakwa, Bantima, and Sokore Mampong. But I think Bantima, maybe they need to do some extension. Maybe the extension at a cut will compensate for that. Then Barikesi is at 68% complete. Then have Kodie is 54% complete. Then the Siwa. In fact, I'm very particular about the Siwa because when you go to Bosomefren, there was a time where it rained and the fair facility there, the rain took the roof off. And the DC also sat. You remember the DC, the one who said Mewu? When his assembly members were looking for him and they called my radio, he told them to tell the assembly members he didn't submit names for them to train a paramedic. So their constituency ambulance was stationed there for almost 2 years without a driver. We broke that story. Anybody can check it out. When you go to a crew from, that is 8% complete. Then Dujama is 39% complete. Adansia Sokwaketi Amon's background is 69% complete. And Yinahini as a Former sports minister is 45% complete. So, David, if we are to trust Dennis's word, and also I've heard also the presidential advisor on health, the former CEO for Confanoche.
And Anthony Siasari, Doc, if you're listening to me, please pick my calls. I have been calling him for the past 2 weeks. After the promise he made to us the last time we spoke to him on radio, where he gave us assurances that by the end of the first quarter of this year, the trade and other ones will be commissioned and made operational on Farming Call.
David, the 50% he promised, I have written an extensive piece on it based on a compact document that it cannot happen unless you have a certain dedicated file. Because, David, you know, if you say, let's do a simple math, I always say that when ministers, let's interrogate the data. If you say you complete 50%, David, 50% of 111, it's 55.5, but there's no 0.5 hospitals, so 55 hospitals, right? The hospitals we are told is 60 million per one. So that alone is 880 million, right? Let's even say that various of them are various stages of completion. So let's even say we need $10 million to complete each of them. 55 by 10 is $550 million. Do we have $550 million as we speak? So that's why I always say that politicians should hasten slowly promise. But David, for me, the Ashanti region, at least for me, based on this, I'm expecting at least 4 or 5 to be completed. Trede, Kokobeng
is another.
Buamai
is another.
And also maybe the Abansia Sokwa should be completed. Then David.
Even Barakese.
Yes, Barakese is not bad. Barakese is 68%.
Yeah, so it should be able to be completed.
Should be completed. And David, you see, we don't want a hospital completion where OPD is working, mortuary is not working. We don't want that type of hospital. The way they do hospitals in Greater Accra and other regions, we want the same hospitals. And David, after one day, I'm happy they put it on the tracker. It is not complete. After it's not complete, Sevilla is not complete. But David also saying that, me have always said that, we also have to commend the government for the completion of Bekwai. Bekwai started in 1978, 72 or so under a champion. They came, they secured the funding to complete it. I have to also commend them for the one at Konongo.
Yeah.
It's been completed. I want to commend them for the one at the Formina. One of them, the Formina Kumewu, one have been completed and it's done, but they are waiting for the president to come and commission for political purposes, which is okay. They've also completed. Then there's one they completed in Tepa, then in Soko. They've also completed that. It's good, but we are saying that for the chunk of beds we need, Afari, the last time David was the one who actually placed the call. We needed just $32 million to complete Afari. Otum for himself, if his grace, I went to Sewia, we should please complete that because it's not on the tracker. So we are saying that if the tracker people are listening, the tracketees, they should be able to put this on the tracker because it's not there. What they put on there is true. You've done the zip line at Mampong. It's a fact.
We hear that. Let's move on. And we know that appeal, from Otum